over 2 million followers on Instagram. You have built quite the fashion empire.
Yeah.
I need you to tell the folks how you did it, because 2005 to 2009, 2010, baby, you had you a journey.
Yes, I did. So always loved fashion, always loved to shop. Actually just passed by one of my favorite malls, Perimeter Mall. I know all the malls in Atlanta, okay? But really wanted to work in media and entertainment, went to Harvard, was trying to find my way, trying to find different jobs, got rejection letter after rejection letter. Actually, my first internship was at Upscale Magazine here in Atlanta.
Wow.
I wanted to write politics initially because I thought I was so smart that I needed to report on serious issues. And they only had an opening in the fashion department.
Wow.
And I loved it. Started off writing captions. By the end of my internship, I was writing cover stories. So I was like, this is what I want to do. I eventually moved to New York City because that's the home of all things media, and just kind of found it very difficult to get into the doors of Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, for example. So I went to HR at my job at the time, and I was like, I want to work in fashion. And she was like, start a website. And so I started ClaireSulmers.com, which still exists, but it felt boring to me. So I started a blog. And this was just to show what I was able to do. But to my surprise, there were lots of women out there who enjoyed my writing. And when I was thinking about what to focus on, of course, I Googled what women went online to see and do. And so they love shopping, they love celebrities. And so I found this niche reporting on Black women, mostly. I mean, now our site is obviously more diverse, but at the time it was Beyonce, it was Kim Kardashian, it was the wives of rappers and basketball players, women who in our culture, we look at their style, we're inspired by them. Yeah. But would Vogue ever cover them? Would Vogue ever cover, I think at the time it was Alexis Pfeiffer that Kanye West was dating. We were covering women like her.
Wow.
Or even now women like Jada Cheeves. People are like, well, who is she and what does she do? And it's like, okay, well, she has this affiliation and she's also dope and she also has great style. And so we created a platform to highlight these women who I think are so often overlooked, sometimes undervalued, but are so valuable to us in our culture. I mean, can you imagine back when I first started, Beyonce was being told that she couldn't be on the cover of Vogue because she wouldn't sell magazines?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You know, and so we've been able to witness this wonderful evolution of the industry, this wonderful evolution of people starting to embrace the trendsetters and image makers and everything that we are as Black people.
Yeah.
So
I love that your story, you know, it is not one note.
No.
You left New York Magazine for a magazine called So Nice Magazine.
I called it So Nice in the book, but the real name is Real Simple. Real Simple Magazine. I tried to change the names, but those who know, know. Yes, it was Real Simple Magazine.
So you have this whole evolution, but in 2005, your friend gets the job that you were overlooked for. Mm-hmm. And you said, I had become so used to being passed over and undervalued that I sighed and kept my nose to the grindstone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when I entered into the corporate world, it was like a rude awakening. Because all my life, I had done well in school. I went to Westminster here in Atlanta, graduated with honors, actually just went back to Westminster and gave the commencement speech.
I saw that, yeah.
Which was like an out-of-body experience. We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
And then I went on to Harvard, graduated with honors. So I was like, okay, I am capable and I can do things. And
this girl is smart. She is letting y'all know. It was a small little subtle flex, okay?
It's a slight flex.
But just really. A slight flex that the girl is smart, yeah.
Well, my mom is a teacher. And actually, I took my mom out to dinner last night for her birthday. And she started giving me books on Cuba. She always is giving me books to read and then quizzing me on them. So it's all grace to my mother. But, you know, I'd done all this work and I knew that I was capable. But then when I entered into the job world, I was consistently being told no. And it was so confusing to me. I was like, what do you mean I can't write at this magazine? What do you mean you won't even see me for an informational interview? This was happening. At the time, I would write Condé Nast Human Resources, and I will never forget this email where I said, can I just come and learn about potential opportunities? And this woman, she said, we are only meeting with people that we are interested in as candidates.
Wow.
I couldn't even get in the door. And so it was just a different set of rules. And I think in some ways I'm still trying to figure out those rules, but in some ways those rules don't make sense.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make sense of something that makes no sense, because in fashion, it's about the look. It's about who you know. It's about how you approach things. Sometimes it's about who you party with, perhaps. So it's still one of those things that I'm trying to figure out. But one thing that I always rested on was my work ethic and my ability to do the work no matter what. Now I'm so blessed to have an amazing team that helps me do the work. But I'll be completely honest, you know, when I was getting my makeup done, my makeup artist was yelling at me because I was trying to post about the CFDA Awards while I'm getting my makeup done. And, you know, at every stoplight, I'm like, okay, can I post this? You know, because we're working around the clock, still adhering to that work ethic. And I think that work ethic has been really key to our success. Just people knowing whenever there's a red carpet, we're going to try to have every single look. When Beyonce steps out, you're going to know who she's wearing and how much it costs and where you can buy it. Yeah. And just that dedication and that hard work brought me this far. But when I was working at various magazines, that it was helpful, I would say, but it wasn't everything. Yeah. And I had that rude awakening at my first magazine job, and that's when I started Fashion Bomb Daily and stepped out on faith, said no to fear, said no to, ignored every single rejection and every single no I had heard. And I told myself, yes, God told me yes, push forward in this direction. Yeah. Go this way.
It's the work ethic. It's the fearlessness, because you took a page out of Kimora Lee Simmons' book, Fabulosity, and you were sneaking into these fashion shows.
I sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't try this at home. Of course, the dork that I am, I was like, okay, let me find books to read where I can figure out a way in. Yeah. And at the time, Kimora Lee Simmons, she was and still is extremely iconic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I was like, okay, she published this book, and she was like, just gate crash. If you don't have an invitation, just gate crash. And now I see on TikTok, there are young girls that are like, come with me as I crash this show.
Wow.
Like, obviously people still do it.
Yeah.
But at the time, that was my only way in. And so when I first started with Fashion Week, the only shows that I was really interested in were shows with Black designers or women of color. And so it was Kimora Lee Simmons, The Baby Fat Show, and Tracy Reese.
Wow.
And I just remember just me and my friend Carlos, we figured it out. We figured out a way in there. We slid into some seats. We prayed security wouldn't carry us away. Yeah. And, I was in there. I wish I could still find these videos. I'm going to find these videos. But we were just so happy and so excited and taking video on the inside and taking pictures with everybody. I treated every situation, and I feel like I still treat every situation as if this is the last time I'm ever going to be able to be in this room and interact with these people. But I was there with Tiana Taylor and Serena Williams and Monica and all these people, and recording it, not realizing at the time that there were no other bloggers in there at the time. And so because we had this exclusive, the big blogs at the time, which were Concrete Loop, Young Black and Fabulous, Cake and Ice Cream, they would link back to us. And be like, hey, look what's happening at the Baby Fat Show. And that's how we started to build our readership, was through having these exclusive opportunities.
Hey, Vault family, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, make sure to check out our full interview on our channel at Vault Empowers Talks. We don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential leaders and change makers. Don't forget to like, to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more inspiring conversations. See you next time.